Words are not just sounds, they are forces. Every time you speak, you release energy into the atmosphere. Energy that has the power to create, to build, and to attract, or the power to destroy, to limit, and to repel. The truth is simple: your words shape your reality. The life you live today is largely a reflection of the words you have spoken in the past, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Consider this: when you say, "I can't afford this," you're not just describing your situation. You are writing the script of your future. You are setting in motion forces that will ensure you remain in a state where you cannot afford. On the other hand, when you declare, "I am divinely provided for, and everything I need comes to me with ease," you are opening a door. You are giving permission for unseen resources to rearrange themselves in your favor. This is why words must never be treated as casual or empty. They are spiritual containers. Every word you speak is a seed, and like any seed, it will eventually produce a harvest. If you plant words of lack, you will reap lack. If you plant words of abundance, you will reap abundance. The question is not whether your words will bring results. The question is, what kind of results do you want them to bring? Throughout history, it has been recognized that words carry creative power. Ancient wisdom declares that life and death are in the power of the tongue. This means your tongue is not just an organ for communication. It is an instrument of creation. When you speak, you are not simply making sounds. You are shaping matter, directing energy, and influencing outcomes. Think about how a single word can change the atmosphere in a room. Someone says, "I love you," and warmth fills the air. Another person says, "I hate you," and instantly tension rises. If words can alter emotions and environments so quickly, imagine their power over your finances, opportunities, and future. Your mouth is like a pen, writing the script of your destiny. The words you release are like instructions written into the blueprint of your life. Speak wealth, and your life starts to align with wealth. Speak debt, and your life starts to align with debt. Words are magnetic. They carry vibrations that attract corresponding experiences. When you consistently speak words of abundance, you create a field around you that draws abundance toward you. But when you speak words of fear, doubt, and limitation, you form a barrier that repels the very blessings you desire. This is why some people find themselves stuck in cycles of lack. It is not because opportunities don't exist, but because their words are keeping those opportunities out of reach. They constantly affirm, "I never have enough. Things never work out for me. Money always slips away from me." These words create a magnetic pull towards situations that confirm those beliefs. But the reverse is also true. When you start declaring, "Money flows to me easily. I am always provided for. Doors of opportunity are opening before me," your words shift the magnetic pull around you. Suddenly, ideas, connections, and opportunities begin to line up with what you've been speaking. Words also penetrate the subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not argue with you. It accepts whatever you repeatedly declare and works tirelessly to make it a reality. When you say, "I'm always broke," your subconscious mind takes that as an instruction and filters your decisions, habits, and perceptions to maintain that reality. But when you affirm, "I am wealthy. I am open to new streams of income. Money flows to me constantly," your subconscious begins to reprogram itself. You start noticing opportunities you previously overlooked. You begin making choices that align with abundance. You become more confident, more resourceful, and more expectant of prosperity. All because your words gave your subconscious a new command. Words are also the outward expression of faith. Faith is not just believing silently, it is declaring boldly. When you speak in faith, even before seeing the results, you set spiritual laws into motion. Your words become a bridge between the invisible and the visible. Saying, I am blessed, when you don't feel blessed, requires faith. Saying, money is flowing into my life, when your pockets are empty, requires faith. But those faith-filled words act as seeds planted in the soil of time. With consistency, they grow and manifest into the reality you once only spoke about. One of the greatest hindrances to financial freedom is careless speech. People often joke about being broke, complain about bills, or constantly remind themselves and others of their struggles. They don't realize that these words are agreements. Every complaint reinforces the very condition they wish to escape. The first step to changing your financial destiny is to change your vocabulary. Stop saying, I'm broke. Stop declaring, money doesn't stay with me. Replace those words with new declarations. I always have more than enough. Money comes to me from expected and unexpected sources. I prosper in everything I do. This shift in language is not denial. It is alignment. You are not ignoring your current circumstances. You are refusing to make them permanent by speaking them into tomorrow. Imagine your words as commands to invisible servants waiting to fulfill your orders. Every time you say, I am wealthy, I am favored, I am supplied, those servants go to work arranging the circumstances of your life. They inspire people to bless you. They bring ideas into your mind. They draw opportunities into your path. This is why it is so important to be intentional. Speak wealth into your business. Speak prosperity over your household. Speak abundance into your future. Say it until it becomes your reality. Because the truth is, money flows where your words go. Let today be the beginning of a new way of speaking. From this moment forward, guard your tongue. Refuse to allow words of lack, fear, or doubt to cross your lips. Instead, create a new vocabulary of prosperity. Declare, I am divinely supplied. Everything I touch prospers. Wealth flows to me freely and abundantly. I live in overflow, not in shortage. Make these words your daily confession, not just when you feel like it, but especially when you don't. For it is in those moments of contradiction that your faith-filled words carry the greatest power. Your words are your greatest wealth building tool. They are the steering wheel of your financial destiny. If you want to change your money, you must first change your mouth. Remember this truth. Money does not follow effort alone. It follows words. Money does not chase fear or complaint. It chases faith and declaration. If you want to redirect the flow of wealth in your life, redirect the words flowing from your lips. Speak abundance. Speak prosperity. Speak supply. For money flows exactly where your words go. One of the greatest truths about prosperity is this: supply is unlimited. The universe is overflowing with abundance. And there is more than enough for every person to live fully, freely, and richly. Lack is not the natural order. Abundance is. Scarcity is not divine design. It is human perception. And when we learn to understand the law of supply, we step into a flow where resources, opportunities, and wealth are no longer a struggle but a stream. Look around at creation. The oceans do not run dry. The stars are uncountable. The air you breathe never runs out. Everywhere you look, life testifies of abundance. If the Creator can cover the earth with billions of blades of grass, if He can paint the sky with endless stars, if He can feed every bird and flower without fail, how much more will He provide for you? Scarcity is not the truth. It is an illusion. It is not that there isn't enough money or opportunity. It is that people close themselves off from the flow of supply through fear, doubt, and negative words. Supply is infinite, but access depends on alignment. Many people see money as a fixed, limited object. They think, if someone else has more, there's less left for me. But money does not work that way. Money is energy. It is circulation. Just like blood in the body or water in the river. It is meant to flow. When it flows, it gives life. When it stagnates, it creates problems. The law of supply states that there is a continuous, endless stream of provision available for every need. The problem is not with the supply. The problem is with the blockages we create. Negative beliefs, words of lack, fear of shortage. These act like dams, stopping the current. When the river of supply is blocked, life feels heavy, and money seems scarce. But the moment you remove the blockages through faith, gratitude, and right words, the supply rushes back in. The law of supply works on a principle. What you believe and declare, you receive. If you live constantly affirming shortage, you align yourself with shortage. But when you live expecting abundance, declaring provision, and standing in faith, you align yourself with supply. Think of it like tuning into a radio station. The station is always broadcasting, but you only hear it when you set your dial to the right frequency. Likewise, the supply of the universe is always broadcasting abundance. It is flowing freely, but only those tuned in by their words, beliefs, and expectations can receive it. Fear is the greatest enemy of supply. Fear whispers, there won't be enough. What if I fail? What if the money runs out? But fear is a lie. It convinces people to shrink, to hoard, to stop dreaming. And in doing so, it blocks the law of supply. Think about a farmer. If fear convinces him not to plant seeds because he doubts the harvest, he guarantees his own lack. But if he plants in faith, and knowing the law of growth is sure, he reaps abundance. The same is true with money. When you release it with faith, whether through investment, generosity, or stepping into new ventures, you activate the law of supply. When you hold it tightly in fear, you cut off the flow. The law of supply also involves circulation. Money is not meant to be hoarded in fear, it is meant to circulate with purpose. When you release money joyfully, spending, giving, or investing, it returns multiplied. Why? Because circulation activates the flow. Imagine inhaling but refusing to exhale. Eventually you suffocate. In the same way, when you take in money, but refuse to let it circulate, you choke the flow of supply in your life. But when you give, when you bless others, when you release money with gratitude, you exhale financially. And that exhale makes room for an even greater inhale. The law of supply responds to words. When you say, there's never enough, you slam the door on abundance. But when you say, all my needs are supplied, money flows to me freely and constantly. Opportunities are always opening for me. You align yourself with the river of provision. Your words are keys. They either lock you out of supply or unlock the door to abundance. If you want the law of supply to work in your favor, you must speak in harmony with it. Declare, I am connected to an endless source of provision. I live in the overflow, not in shortage. Supply is always meeting me at my point of need. When you do this, you position yourself for miracles of provision. The law of supply is not random. It is ordered. Just as night follows day, supply follows faith. Just as the seed grows into a harvest, the word grows into reality. It is not your job to figure out how the supply will come. It is only your job to declare it, believe it, and act in alignment with it. Opportunities may appear in ways you never imagined. An unexpected connection, a new idea, an open door. All are manifestations of the supply you have declared. Faith says, "The how is not my concern, the flow is guaranteed." Many people live with a scarcity mindset because they were trained to believe money is limited. They were told things like, "You must fight for your share," or "Money is hard to get." These beliefs create chains that keep people in lack. The law of supply demands a new mindset. You must believe, there is always enough for me. I am never in competition for my supply. What is mine by divine right cannot be taken away. When you think this way, fear vanishes, envy disappears, and you live at peace knowing your provision is secure. To live under the law of supply is to live in constant expectation of good. It is to wake up each morning saying, "I know that today, supply will meet me. I know that money, ideas, and opportunities are flowing my way. I know that I live in an abundant universe, and my needs are always taken care of." This mindset creates an atmosphere where miracles happen daily. You stop chasing money, and instead, money begins chasing you. You stop striving in fear, and instead, you rest in faith. Supply becomes natural, effortless, and continuous. The law of supply is simple, abundance is unlimited, and it flows to those who believe, speak, and act in alignment with it. Lack is not your destiny. Shortage is not your inheritance. You were created to live in overflow. The universe is not withholding from you. It is waiting for you to open your mouth, align your faith, and step into the flow. So, stop declaring shortage. Stop expecting lack. Open your mouth and declare, "I am supplied. I am provided for. I live in abundance." Because the river of supply is already flowing. You simply need to step in. Words create worlds, and nowhere is this more obvious than in the way people talk about money. Most people don't realize that their constant words about poverty are the very reason they remain trapped in it. Every complaint, every declaration of lack, every joke about being broke, weave a web that holds them back. Poverty often begins in the mouth, long before it appears in the bank account. Poverty talk sounds harmless, but it is deadly. It shows up in statements like, "I can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. I'm always broke. It's impossible to get ahead." At first, these seem like casual remarks, but they are really agreements. Each time you say them, you are entering into a contract with lack. Your subconscious accepts them as truth, and your environment rearranges itself to make them true. Before long, what you spoke becomes your reality. The danger of poverty talk is not just that it describes a current condition. It cements it into the future. It locks you into cycles where opportunities pass by unnoticed, creative ideas never emerge, and doors of favor remain shut. Prosperity talk is the exact opposite. It uses words not to describe the situation, but to create a new one. Prosperity talk says, "I am always provided for. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. There is always more where that came from. I prosper in everything I do." These words carry energy. They shift your mind into expectation. They reprogram your subconscious to see opportunities, and they align your vibration with abundance. When you consistently speak prosperity, your environment begins to reflect it. People, ideas, and resources start moving in your direction because you are speaking in harmony with wealth instead of lack. For many people, poverty talk is inherited. They grew up hearing their parents say, "We can't afford this," or "Rich people are greedy," or "Life is just about surviving." Without realizing it, they absorbed these phrases and repeated them as adults. Generational words create generational cycles. But you can break the cycle. You are not bound to repeat the language of lack you heard growing up. You have the power to create a new vocabulary for yourself and your family. Instead of teaching your children to fear money, you can teach them to bless it. Instead of cursing bills, you can thank God for the provision to pay them. In doing so, you plant seeds of prosperity that will bless generations to come. Some people think joking about being broke is harmless. They say things like, "I'm so broke, I can't even pay attention." They laugh, but the subconscious mind doesn't understand jokes. It takes every word literally. By repeating these phrases, even in humor, you are reinforcing a belief in shortage. If you want to live in abundance, you must stop treating poverty as entertainment. Stop glorifying lack with your jokes and start glorifying abundance with your declarations. Instead of saying, "I'm broke," laugh and say, "I'm blessed beyond measure." Your words, even in humor, should align with your desired reality. When you constantly speak words of lack, your vision shrinks. You stop dreaming big because your mouth keeps telling your mind, "It's impossible." You stop taking risks because your words convince you that failure is certain. Poverty talk creates a prison of small thinking, where life becomes about survival instead of expansion. Prosperity talk, on the other hand, enlarges vision. When you say, "I am open to new streams of income," you begin to notice creative ideas. When you declare, "I attract wealth wherever I go," you walk into rooms with a different confidence. Your words expand your vision, and your vision expands your results. The shift begins with awareness. Pay attention to your words. Catch yourself every time you say something that aligns with lack, and replace it with prosperity talk. If you hear yourself saying, "I can't afford this," correct it immediately. "I choose not to spend on this right now, but I can afford anything I truly desire." Create daily prosperity declarations. Speak them in the morning, throughout the day, and before you sleep. For example, "I live in an abundant universe." "I always have more than enough." "I am surrounded by wealth and opportunities." "Money flows to me easily, freely, and consistently." The more you say these words, the more natural they become, and soon your life begins to reflect them. The difference between poverty and prosperity often lies in the tongue. Poverty talk keeps you chained to lack. Prosperity talk sets you free into abundance. Your words are more powerful than your circumstances, and when you align your speech with wealth, you invite wealth into your life. So stop rehearsing your struggles. Stop complaining about your bills. Stop joking about being broke. Instead, speak life, speak abundance, and speak prosperity. Remember this: the tongue is a key. Poverty talk locks the door, prosperity talk opens it. Choose your words wisely, for they are steering the course of your financial destiny. Faith is not silent, it speaks. What you believe in your heart must be declared with your mouth to come alive. Declarations are more than positive words. They are statements of faith, charged with conviction and authority. When you declare prosperity, you are not begging the universe for blessings. You are commanding spiritual law to align with your faith. Your words are not just descriptions of your life. They are blueprints for your future. A faith-filled declaration is like planting a seed in the soil of the unseen. You may not see the harvest immediately, but the process begins the moment the seed is spoken. Many people say, "I'll believe it when I see it." But faith turns that idea upside down. Faith says, "I'll see it when I believe it and declare it." Declarations give form to invisible belief, and belief shapes reality. It is not enough to think prosperity. You must speak it. When you speak out loud, you release vibrations that travel into your environment. influencing energy and circumstances around you. At the same time, your ears hear your words, reinforcing your belief in your subconscious mind. This is why faith-filled declarations must become daily practice. When you declare, "I am wealthy. Money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. My life is filled with abundance," you are programming both the spiritual realm and your own subconscious to align with prosperity. Here are some powerful declarations you can use. I am divinely supplied, and my needs are always met. I attract money easily, freely, and continuously. Opportunities for wealth are drawn to me every day. I prosper in health, wealth, and relationships. Everything I touch flourishes and multiplies. These are not wishful phrases, they are decrees. When spoken with faith, they become creative forces shaping your financial reality. Declarations without conviction are like empty shells. They look powerful but lack life. The difference between empty words and faith-filled words is belief. If you say, "I'm rich," but in your heart you are filled with fear and doubt, the words carry no weight. But if you declare it with certainty, even before seeing evidence, you release power. Think of a general giving orders to an army. If he whispers uncertainly, the soldiers hesitate. But when he speaks with authority, they move immediately. Your subconscious and your environment respond the same way. Conviction commands. Faith-filled declarations are often spoken in contradiction to present circumstances. You may look at an empty wallet and declare, "I am abundantly supplied." You may be surrounded by bills and still say, "I am debt-free and prosperous." This is not denial, it is prophecy. Circumstances are temporary. Words of faith create permanence. When you declare abundance in the face of lack, you are refusing to let the present define your future. You are speaking from vision, not from condition. One declaration spoken once has little power. But when you speak prosperity daily, morning, noon, and night, you create momentum. Consistency trains your mind, shifts your energy, and aligns your actions with your words. Over time, your declarations build a new atmosphere around you, one where abundance becomes natural. Some people give up too quickly. They speak prosperity for a week and say, "Nothing happened." But just like a seed in the ground, declarations need time. Keep watering them with repetition, and in the right season, the harvest will appear. Faith-filled declarations are the language of abundance. They are not weak wishes whispered in hope, but bold commands spoken in certainty. Every time you declare prosperity, you set forces in motion, within your subconscious, within your environment, and within the unseen spiritual realm. So declare boldly, "I am blessed. I am wealthy. I am favored. Money flows to me with ease. I live in abundance." Say it until your voice shakes with conviction, until your mind believes it fully, until your life begins to reflect it. Remember, your mouth is the doorway to your financial destiny. Speak faith. Speak wealth. Speak prosperity. For what you declare with conviction, you will surely see with your eyes. Gratitude is one of the greatest keys to abundance. Where complaint shuts the door to prosperity, gratitude flings it wide open. A thankful heart attracts more to be thankful for, while an ungrateful spirit pushes blessings away. If you want money, opportunities, and resources to flow into your life, you must learn the language of gratitude. Imagine two people. One constantly complains, saying, "I never have enough. Life is unfair. Nothing works for me." The other says, "Thank you for what I have. Thank you for what is on the way. Thank you for the opportunities before me." Which one do you think attracts more blessings? The answer is obvious. Gratitude unlocks the flow of supply. It acknowledges abundance even before it is fully visible, and in doing so, it calls in more. Complaining, on the other hand, magnifies lack. What you focus on expands, and gratitude ensures your focus is on the good. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is an energy. When you give thanks, your vibration rises. You move from fear and doubt into joy and expectation. This shift in energy makes you a magnet for abundance. Think about it. When someone is grateful, they radiate positivity. People want to help them, support them, and bless them. But when someone is negative and ungrateful, others withdraw. The same is true spiritually. Gratitude signals that you are open, receptive, and ready for increase. Gratitude must be practiced daily, not occasionally. Begin each morning by declaring, Yi, thank you for the money in my hand. Li, thank you for the money on its way. Thank you for open doors and opportunities. This simple practice shifts your mindset from scarcity to sufficiency. It reminds you that you are already blessed, and it prepares you to receive more. At night, review your day, and give thanks for every blessing, big or small. Gratitude multiplies what you acknowledge. Even money responds to gratitude. Instead of cursing bills, bless them. Say, thank you that I have the resources to pay this. Thank you that more is coming. Instead of complaining when you spend, say, I release this money with joy, knowing it circulates back to me multiplied. By blessing money, you remove fear and invite flow. Remember, money is energy, and when you treat it with gratitude, it returns to you gladly. Gratitude is faith expressed. To say, thank you, before the manifestation arrives is the highest form of belief. It declares, I trust that supply is already mine, even if I don't see it yet. This kind of gratitude draws provision quickly, because it demonstrates alignment with abundance. Instead of asking in desperation, start thanking in expectation. Shift from, please give me money, to, thank you that money is already flowing to me. Gratitude turns requests into reality. Gratitude is the golden key to prosperity. It transforms your attitude, lifts your vibration, and keeps the flow of supply open. Every blessing you acknowledge multiplies. Every blessing you ignore diminishes. So choose to live with a thankful heart. Thank God for what you have. Thank Him for what is coming. Thank Him for the overflow on its way. Stop cursing your bills, bless them. Stop complaining about lack. Celebrate what you already possess. Remember this: the thankful heart is never empty. Gratitude is the magnet that draws money, opportunity, and abundance straight into your life. For generations, many people have been taught to fear money, or to believe it is something corrupt and dangerous. Phrases like, money is the root of all evil, have created guilt around wealth, leading people to push prosperity away, even while secretly desiring it. But here is the truth: money is not evil. It is energy. It is a tool, a servant, a channel of exchange. How you use it determines whether it becomes a blessing or a curse. Money itself has no personality. It carries no moral value. It is neutral, like electricity. Electricity can light a home or burn it down, depending on how it is used. The same is true of money. In the hands of a wise and generous person, money feeds the hungry, builds businesses, educates children, and transforms communities. In the hands of a selfish person, money fuels greed, oppression, and corruption. The issue is not money. It is the mindset of the one who controls it. When people label money as evil, they unconsciously repel it. Deep down, they fear that having more will make them bad, greedy, or unspiritual. This fear creates resistance, and resistance blocks flow. To live in abundance, you must release the guilt and see money for what it is: a servant designed to obey your intention. At its core, Money is simply energy in physical form. It represents value exchanged between people. It flows from hand to hand, from nation to nation, from one account to another. Like water, it is meant to circulate. When it flows, it nourishes. When it is hoarded in fear, it stagnates. Think of money as a current of energy. It moves toward vision, clarity, and purpose. It resists confusion, negativity, and fear. This is why people with clear intentions and positive declarations often attract money more easily. They are aligned with its flow. When you stop resisting it with guilt or fear, you allow the current to move toward you naturally. If you constantly speak negatively about money, you poison its energy in your life. Statements like, money is hard to get. Rich people are all corrupt. I'll never be wealthy. I'll all push money away. Your words create resistance. And money does not stay where it is cursed. But when you bless money, money is a tool for good. Money flows to me freely. Money serves me well. You shift its energy in your life. Money begins to flow more easily because it feels welcomed, respected, and appreciated. Bless the money you have, even if it's small. Bless the money on its way. Bless the opportunities that will bring more. Gratitude and blessing magnetize wealth. The danger is not money itself, but letting money master you. When money becomes your master, you chase it obsessively, fear losing it, or compromise your values to gain it. But when you see money as a servant, you stay in control. Ask yourself, what do I want money to do for me? Do you want it to provide security for your family? Build schools, fund businesses, support ministries, heal the sick. When money serves purpose, it becomes holy. It becomes a channel for love, generosity, and transformation. Many people struggle to attract money because, deep down, they feel guilty about it. They've been told that desiring wealth makes them greedy or unspiritual. But here's the truth, wanting more is not wrong. Expansion is the natural order of life. Trees grow bigger, rivers carve new paths, and stars expand in the universe. Growth is divine. Money in your hands allows you to grow, expand, and bless others. The more you have, the more good you can do. Poverty does not help anyone. It limits potential. Wealth, when guided by wisdom, multiplies blessings. Money is not evil. It is energy. It is a neutral tool, ready to serve the one who directs it. If you curse it, you block it. If you fear it, you repel it. But if you bless it, honor it, and assign it to a worthy purpose, it will flow abundantly into your life. So, shift your mindset today. Stop seeing money as a threat. See it as a servant, as energy, as a divine resource waiting to be channeled. Speak blessing over it. Declare that money serves you, blesses others, and fulfills higher purposes. Remember, money is not your master. It is your servant. And when you treat it as such, it will obey your intention and multiply in your hands. We have come to the final part of this teaching, and everything now connects to one simple truth. Money flows where your words go. From the very beginning, we established that words are not mere sounds. They are forces, carrying power to shape circumstances, to attract opportunities, and to direct the movement of wealth. Just as rivers follow channels carved into the earth, money follows the channels carved by your thoughts, your declarations, and your attitude toward abundance. Picture yourself driving a car. Your words are the steering wheel. Wherever you turn them, that's where your financial life will go. If your words constantly turn toward lack, I can't afford this. Money never stays with me. Everything is getting worse. Then your finances will follow that direction, straight into scarcity. But if your words steer toward increase, money flows to me. I always have enough. opportunities chase me down. Your finances will begin moving in the direction of prosperity. It may not happen instantly, but just as a car gradually follows the turn of the wheel, your money will gradually follow the turn of your words. One of the greatest mistakes people make is inconsistency. They declare abundance today, but cancel it tomorrow with words of doubt. They pray for provision but then complain about bills. Remembers, a divided tongue creates a divided life. If a farmer plants seeds but uproots them the next day, there will be no harvest. In the same way, if you plant words of abundance, but uproot them with words of lack, the flow of money cannot settle in your life. Consistency is key. Keep your words aligned with wealth, even when appearances contradict them. The more consistent your declarations, the more stable and predictable the flow of money becomes. Money is like water. It takes the shape of the container you give it. If you don't give it direction, it will scatter and disappear. If you don't tell it what to do, it will obey someone else's vision. That's why it is crucial to speak with intention. Don't just say, "Money is coming to me." Go further. Money comes to me for the purpose of building my family's future, for funding my business, for helping others, for creating impact. Assign every dollar a job. When you give money purpose through your words, it doesn't just flow, it flows in alignment with your highest goals. Another important point is to guard against voices that contradict your declarations. If you are speaking abundance, but constantly surrounding yourself with people who complain about lack, fear the future, or curse money, their words will weaken your own. Remember, words are contagious. If you don't guard your environment, the wrong language can infect your mind and derail your progress. Instead, build a circle of people who speak life, who honor abundance, who believe in prosperity. Let your ears be filled with uplifting words, so that your own declarations are reinforced, not undermined. We have already discussed the power of gratitude. But as we conclude, let's emphasize it once more. Gratitude is the seal that locks in the flow of money. It prevents leaks, it magnifies blessings, and it accelerates the return of wealth. Each time you receive, even the smallest amount, say, "Thank you." Each time an opportunity arises, say, "Thank you." Gratitude turns every financial interaction into a magnet for more. Without gratitude, money slips away. With gratitude, it multiplies. The ultimate purpose of directing money with your words is not just for personal comfort, but for impact. Money that flows only to you will eventually stagnate, but money that flows through you will always be replenished. Become a conduit, not a reservoir. Speak words that not only attract money, but also direct it toward meaningful purposes, helping others, building, creating, serving. When you align your words with generosity, the universe entrusts you with more, because you are not just a receiver, you are a distributor. The more faithfully you channel abundance, the more abundance will trust you. So now, as we close, remember this truth. Your financial life will always follow the direction of your words. If you want more money, speak it. If you want stability, declare it. If you want overflow, command it. Money is not random. It is obedient. It follows sound. It follows energy. It follows intention. From this day forward, stop cursing your finances with careless speech. Stop declaring lack over your life. Begin to speak wealth, consistency, gratitude, and purpose. Let your words become channels of increase. Money is energy, and it flows where your words go. Speak it right. Direct it wisely. Live abundantly. We have reached the conclusion of this teaching, and the message can be summed up in one simple principle. Money flows where your words go. The way you speak about your finances is not a small matter. It is the steering wheel of your economic life. Every word you speak is like giving money an instruction. If you say, "I never have enough," you are sending money away. If you declare, "Money flows to me freely," you are opening the doors for it to arrive. Your financial reality is, in many ways, a mirror of the language you consistently use. Imagine your words as channels. Rivers flow where channels are dug, and money flows where your words create paths. If your language is full of lack, your channel dries up. But if your language is full of abundance, you create a wide river where wealth can flow into your life. One of the greatest challenges is consistency. Many people speak positively one day and cancel their words the next with complaints and doubt. That divided language produces divided results. To direct the flow of money, your words must be steady, aligned, and unwavering. Even when your current circumstances don't yet reflect your declarations. Just as a farmer doesn't dig up seeds after planting them, you must not uproot your declarations with negativity. Hold fast to your words until the harvest comes. Money doesn't just need to flow, it needs direction. If you don't assign it a purpose, it will quickly scatter. When you speak, be intentional. Money comes to me for building my future, helping others, expanding my business, and creating impact. By giving money a clear role, you not only attract it, but also control how it serves you. Your declarations will be weakened if you constantly surround yourself with people who complain about lack and curse money. Words are contagious, and negative speech can poison your atmosphere. Instead, guard your ears. Surround yourself with voices that believe in abundance, prosperity, and possibility. Your environment should reinforce your declarations, not fight against them. Finally, gratitude is the seal that keeps the flow of money strong. Each time you receive, even something small, express thankfulness. Gratitude multiplies what you already have and magnetizes more to come. Without it, money slips away. With it, money returns with increase. So here is the charge: you speak wisely. Money is not random. It obeys your words. It is energy, and it flows toward gratitude, consistency, and purpose. Stop cursing your finances with careless language. Instead, declare increase, stability, and abundance. Remember, money flows where your words go. From this day forward, let your words carve channels of prosperity, and watch wealth follow the sound of your voice.